Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's video is going to be about removing artifacts, general weirdness from the water in your sim. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, and then I'll show you exactly how to get rid of it. So there's two artifacts that I'm going to be looking at today. First is going to be the sort of black lines that we can see in the water sometimes in the sim. And the other one is a strange shimmering band in the middle of the water that you often get when you're trying to use anisotropic filtering in the sim in conjunction with NVIDIA DLSS as an anti-aliasing method. Very smooth flying out of Southampton there. It won't look quite as smooth as you watch it, I'm afraid, because I'm recording in 60 frames per second, but what I'm seeing is like 70, 75. So let's just get this thing flying, and then I'll show you the artifacts I'm talking about. There we go, we'll leave it like that for now. So artifacts here. So this band of texture, it looks worse in motion, it kind of shimmers, it's nasty, it's horrible. This is like smooth, this is super clear, and then it's smooth again here. I'll show you exactly what you need to get rid of that if you want to use NVIDIA DLSS, which obviously if you do use it, you're going to get way better frame rates than if you don't. Now I've come to this particular part of the world because there's a perfect example of the other type of artifact that we're talking about. So it's in the water just over here, and it's always there. So you can see these nasty black lines always here. So in certain parts of the world, I'm afraid, you can't get rid of those. That's just the way it is. But I don't have it in San Francisco anymore. My first video, you'd have seen these black lines in the water in my first video. I don't see them there anymore since increasing both my internet download speed and my terrain LOD, so I think that's what you need to do. So again, you need to increase internet download speed if you can. So I went from a very low 25 megabits per second to a still pretty low 50 megabits per second. And then terrain LOD, I'm currently using 180 on that one, and see much better results with those settings. Again, you can see them over here, but let's say in this area, which is, by the way, we flew out of Southampton International Airport, they're just always there. Now, the other type of artifact then, I just want to quickly talk about these boats. It's live shipping. I love that, it's so cool that all of these boats are there in real life. I guess it's the same with the aircraft, isn't it? So cool. Anyway, just nerding out there for a moment. Yeah, so how are we going to get rid of the other one? So to recap, it's this weirdness. So what you need to do is go to your NVIDIA control panel and turn it on to 16x, okay? Then return to your sim. In your settings there, we go to global rendering quality. Turn off anisotropic filtering here, all right? And then you can enable NVIDIA DLSS Super Resolution, which means you're going to get way better frame rates, of course. There is a bit of, well, there can be some artifacts with that anti-aliasing method, but for me personally, the frames are worth it. So that's that. Hopefully that's useful. It was Island Sim Pilot, a YouTuber who I guess was pretty inspiring to me to get started making videos. He just happened to mention that thing about anisotropic filtering and water artifacts in one of his videos about an unrelated subject, and that showed me how to cure the problem that I was seeing. I was trying to find a solution and couldn't find anything, but there it was. So thanks, man. Now, if that's useful to you, if you are wanting to, or if those solutions are of interest, you should definitely subscribe. You should subscribe anyway, because it's so important, it turns out, to subscribe in order to keep these small channels alive. I had no idea before I started creating content how important it is. Upcoming videos I'm going to be making to make your subscription worthwhile are one about getting rid of stutters. I know that a lot of you guys get stutters. I don't really, so I'll share my settings with you so that you can see hopefully how to get rid of those stutters. And then on top of that, I'll do a video about optimizing your sim so that you won't have stutters as well, so at least so that you can have maximize your terrain LOD whilst minimizing your stutters. So you should definitely subscribe for that one as well, because then it doesn't matter what your setup is, I'll show you how to optimize it to make it as good as it can be. As well as that, frame generation, I'll be making a video about the use of frame generation, how to use it correctly to avoid screen tear, and then also static aircraft. We'll have a look at that. I had a real problem with static aircraft popping in. It doesn't matter what setting I set in the sim settings, it always I would always see the aircraft popping in like 100, 150 meters away. So that's something I don't have anymore, and I'll show you what to do so that you don't either. So yeah, like I say, super important, please, that you do like, comment and subscribe if you can. I'd appreciate it. So we're going to come and put our aircraft down just ahead here. Flying in this area, as I said, because of those weird sort of black lines that you get in the water. I actually grew up around here, and that airport that we took off from, Southampton International, is where I had my first flying lessons. We used to fly over to that island in the distance, the Isle of Wight, and there's a airfield there 500 with a pub at the end, so you can kind of, if you're a resident of the Isle of Wight, you can fly out there, drive out there, or you can fly out there I guess, but drive out there, take a seat in the pub, and you can watch the aircraft landing. It's pretty cool. I won't make you watch me park it this time. The last couple of videos I parked up before I stopped the video, but I mean, can I really expect you to watch me park? It's just that I get a sense of closure from parking the aircraft. I feel like I can't just stop in mid-air. I think it's an Island Sim Pilot thing. He flies in the Caribbean, doesn't he? I'm sure you've seen his videos, and always starts up cold and dark. God, a bit of a bouncy landing, wasn't it? And yeah, it drives to the, taxis to the runway, flies off somewhere else, and then taxis to a parking spot. But yeah, can I expect you to watch me taxiing about a place? Perhaps not. So Maybe we'll just get it onto the taxiway. Well, as I say, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, or I hope it's useful. It's not really an enjoyable one, this one, is it? If you could drop me a comment, let me know what you would enjoy watching. And as I say, hopefully in the future we'll have some very useful videos to help you get rid of those nasty stutters. All right, we'll call it a day there. Thanks again. See you on the next one.